And you know, CFE keeps on packing it away, and you see people in gold money do the same thing, and then the Zurich County Bank has a program. They don't even have enough room to put all of the gold and silver away for the people, and so the physical market sooner or later is going to blow up, and when it happens, it'll be all over, and all those people in futures and that's in the comics and the LBMA in London and these ETFs, exchange traded funds such as the SLV and GLD, they're all going to go under. They don't have the gold and silver. They just don't have it. And it's getting worse and worse all the time. And so don't be in those things. You either take delivery of physical, or you get into stocks, or both, which is what I recommend, and depending upon your assets, and that's the way you should go.
And again, folks, if you're holding paper, whether it be, no matter, you get into these ETFs, you get your storage in various countries and so forth, you really don't have gold unless you have it by your side, a physical possession of gold. So don't mistake thinking that you're protected by having gold by owning some of these products, because the real protection of gold is by owning it physically and having it by your side. Someone sent me a question. He says, concerning the silver prices by most of the known silver or forecaster people. And then he broke it out, Bob, from those that believe that silver is going higher than 10,000, between 5 and 10, at 5, 2 to 5,000. His question is, where do you fall into the thoughts of...
On gold or silver?
This is silver. I mean, there's Mike Maloney. He thinks silver's going to 15,000. Howard Katz, 14,000. Like...
Well, I've been in this business too long to know that something like that can happen. And a reasonable price when gold is $3,000 would be $100 an ounce for silver. If you go to 7,500, a fair price would be $225 to $250, and based on inflation, we should be at 7,500 now, the real numbers. And so gold will probably go over 10,000, and silver may go over 300, but it's not going to hit the kind of figures those people are talking about. I mean, it's irresponsible. It's sensationalism, and it's something I don't want to get involved in, and I want to know about, because it's wrong. Even if they're right, it's wrong.
I can't believe some of these numbers, and I mean, they're even predicting dates, 10,000 by 2012. I mean...
No. Who else is there beside, who is it, Mahoney or Maloney?
Well, for higher than 10,000 is Mike Maloney, Howard Katz, Silver Coin Investor, Jim Records, and Roland Watson.
Well, all I can tell you is Howard Katz has been wrong every single thing that's come out of his mouth for the last 10 years. So you can discount him. I know who Mahoney is. I won't carry his stuff and in my links. And the other two people I've never heard of.
And you know what? Some of these people, like from the 5,000 to the 10,000 level, you have Peter Schiff, you have Gerald Celente. I mean...
Wait a minute. Is this gold or silver?
This is all silver.
That's crazy.
Even James Turk, 8,000. Martin... Now, this is from this person's email, so I'm assuming that he did a little bit of research on this. And he even has Harry Schultz down for 6,000.
They got to be talking about gold. You have to be wrong on that. then he has to be wrong or something's wrong. And if you look down at 3,000, you'll see my name. And they never contacted me.
Well, let's see, who's this email? This is from Richard. Richard, if you're listening, confirm that you are talking about silver and not gold, because...
No, gold, not silver.
Right. The second question, where do you see a realistic number by 2012?
Well, I just told you.
Oh, okay.
And, that's good enough. And, those high prices are not important. What's important is the next move. Where is gold and silver going? And I think that we'll easily see 1650 before the year is out. May see 2,500 to 3,000. It all depends on how long it takes for the system to come down. And nobody knows that. And I think it's a year and a half or two, maybe a lot less. We just don't know. And we don't know what the Fed's going to do for sure. If they don't come in and put $5 trillion into the U.S. economy, in 2 years it'll collapse, or it'll start collapsing immediately, actually. And that will buy them 2 years by doing that. But we don't know for sure that they're going to do it. We don't know what they're going to do. The reason that gold is going up is because gold, for the last year and a quarter, has been challenging the U.S. dollar for supremacy, the only real currency in the world.
We have another question here, and what, I think you are right, Bob. I think, he was probably talking about gold, not silver, because I have never heard any of those predictions at that high for silver. This person emailed something with all the people moving money and hard assets to Costa Rica. He has a question. Does Costa Rica have a tax treaty with the U.S.?
I don't know. I haven't lived there for 30 years, so I can't tell you. I know that Panama doesn't, but they will have one by September. And it's going to cause some major changes in that country as far as people going and living there.
Have you heard
They all succumb to the U.S. government. Listen, Costa Rica has been under the U.S. government's thumb for years and years and years and years. I knew when I lived there. I knew of a lot of people from the Central Intelligence Agency, and they were operating there, and Iran-Contra, and they tried to get me involved, and I wouldn't do it. And all of the players of that time, Adolfo Calero, I knew him very well. I used to see him all the time. And Hill and that whole gang that was running Iran-Contra, Ollie North. I know all those people. Quite frankly, they're a bunch of criminals. So I can't answer the question because I don't know. But most countries do have a reciprocal tax agreement with the United States. And today, if you try to go and open an account offshore and as an American, 99 chances out of 100, you're not going to be able to open one. Now, if you go to Costa Rica and you go to live there and you put money in a bank there, that's not a problem, because you're giving a local address and you're bringing your electric bill with you or something that can prove that you live in that domicile. And they do that in other countries as well.
He has another question. Have you heard anything more about the ships and everything that's moving into those waters?
Not a thing. Nothing at all.
His other question is, who is pawning their gold with the BIS, and will the countries involved ever see that gold back when they try to reclaim it? Looks like the biggest Ponzi scheme he has ever seen.
I don't think the gold ever happened. I think it's a scam. And it's not the first time they pulled that. They're just a bunch of crooks. Pretty simple. And there are others who agree with me, but most of them don't know. So I just back into everything. I see what they've done in the past. And, you know, I was talking about the BIS in 1961 and 62. I mean, nobody knew what it was. I had to explain to people what it was. And